just watched a video by Sweet. Is it Sweet? Oh man, I'm not good at these names. Sweet Spirit of Light, I think it is. I didn't save it. But, she really speaks about how we create our reality and just how my intention when I wake up is that I'm going to be happy. And my intention and what I manifest in my life is just good, awesome, pure conversations and meetings. And yeah, I don't get out much. I really don't. But for what I do, um, everything's awesome. It's just, it is. And, I'm kind of reflecting back on certain things today and conversations that I had. And, a few things that stand out is I had a library activity with my daughter, and I was speaking to a friend who's just come back from Iran, and she actually brought her device for me to see the pictures, and I, have been grounded and not able to travel a lot at all in the last long time. And I get my energy by the pictures that people show me or how they speak of their trips. And when she was showing me the pictures, there was a child crying, and she never cries. And she was just having a child thing of crying, and it was starting to hurt. Like, even if I'm detached, it's just like yucky. So at one point I just looked up and I was like to my angels, I was like, there's a lot of us here that can soothe her. Like, send her angel or have her come to one of us. And she came and sat by Zoe, the lady who was showing me the pictures, so that I could just kind of integrate them alone. And I was like, thank you. Not that I was alone looking at the pictures, but I mean, because I wasn't getting explanations of exactly where places were in Iran, but at the same time was able to really zoom in and see the eyes. The energy is amazing there, and that's the thing, eh? We have been so mindfuck programmed to supposedly believe that places are yucky when they're amazing and full of light. And one of the things she said to me before she went and was sitting with the child and doing the child activity, it wasn't even her child, it was just who the little girl picked to be with, but is how all the children wanted the selfies, and it was okay with everyone, it was totally okay. And so she literally had sometimes 10, 20, 30 children all gathered, and their smiles, you want to speak of the new children coming in and how they are everywhere. It's such validation. I already know this, I have the inner knowing, but to see it is it was like I was there. I could feel them all, and it's amazing. And I also had the opportunity, her layovers and time that she spent, because she's from England, was in London and around London. The pictures that I got to see of that energy as well is that, we're so, I say we, I just because, that's how I talk, but it doesn't mean we are programmed anymore or even ever have been. But if you look at what the media tells you in the mainstream, which, yes, I know everybody maybe who watches this will be like, I haven't watched that in a long time, or I watch it detached just to see certain things. But I mean, in general, what I'm trying to get at is that just the fact that the energy everywhere is amazing. It really is. And in all the pictures that I saw, it validates what I am saying, is that there are no sheep. You really, if you're still in that mentality, is because either you're not taking the time to look around because you're in a busy center and you're just doing your thing and getting back and forth to where you need to get, and you're not actually looking, or you have something inside you that has anger towards people who aren't as awake as you, and you're not looking at them. Because if you take the time to look at souls, vibes, and auras and energy, like I mean, I don't know, am I naive and I didn't see like people who were like, I'm not here, I'm reptilian, I want to eat babies. Like, fuck no. You know what I mean? Like, no, like everybody that I saw in the pictures from 2 different countries is like awake and awakening and is of the light. It's like amazing. I'm still rocking the giggle vibe, and to the point when I was at the library, I had to go and exit a bit just to make sure that, like, it can be overwhelming for other people, and it's not. I just came in from outside, so I just keep on. It's like really cold. It's overwhelming, so it's not really that I'm toning it down. I'm just being aware of what my vibe is, to not overpower, to go too hard, I guess, to be delicate, to try to give the energy and have the light, but to not burst it through to the point where it's not feeling good or it's just too much. And I don't know if anyone can resonate with that. It's just that although everyone around me is awakening and they are not in the place that I'm at. So I'm just being trying to be kind in how much I put out, to not overwhelm. I don't know. I don't even know if that makes sense, but I don't know. It's not feeling bad that I'm too much. It's that they can only handle so much. That's it. Like for me, I live a very isolated life where even if I try to say to someone like, hey, you want to go for coffee? Because I can read their thoughts, it's fucked up. It really is. Like, I have one lady that I've tried like for a while now, and she's literally thinking in her head, like, why would she want to hang out with me? And still, after months of me trying to make this happen, she's just overwhelmed by me, and it's fucked up like that. And it's not bad. Like, I used to take it really bad in the sense that, like, oh my god, like, get me off this pedestal or whatever that look is. And I know what it is, I know the words for it, but it's just like, it's fucking weird. And not weird, but it is what it is. Yeah, so I'm just coming in from outside. I don't know what time it is. 21:27 Eastern time. And there's already, it's not even, night. It just got dark about an hour ago. And there's already like a ton of activity in this night sky tonight. The constellations. It's in this song. I don't know if he just said it or if he's going to say it in a second. Whoa. The constellations are like bright. That's the cool thing. Like, I'm not going to bitch and moan about it being cold, but it is. But everything's very bright. It's new moon. Literally tomorrow, but right now already. Yes, it is. And so there's no other, you know, the moon's not out and shining and overpowering the constellations. And the Big Dipper has done that pivot and is closer to the house again. So that's pretty cool. I like my Big Dipper. I was trying to see if there's anything specific else that has moved. I don't know the names of many other constellations. It's just how I roll. I just recognize constellations. Yeah, I didn't plan that song. My phone is bugging. It ain't the car, it's the phone, where I couldn't even turn it on, my music phone. And then when I managed to turn it on, I just pressed shuffle, and that's all I could get out of it. I don't even know if I could change the sound right now. I'm not touching it. I got my music on. That's all that counts. Anyways, so yeah, so there's a lot of activity in the sky already, like some movement of whatever going fast above the house. And the colors and the shape, I can't see the shape because it's too high up, but I can see that the way that the light is not what I'm used to in my night sky. So there's some new stuff or things that are becoming visible to me that were not. So that's pretty cool. And at one point it's inside me said like turn around, so I got to see, I don't know if it was a shooting star, a meteor, or whatever, but I just got the so that was neat. To the south, yeah, my little creek is running harder and noisier, so that's pretty cool. I was thinking if it ever gets warm, don't say that, it's gonna stay cold all winter, summer, spring, and fall, we're never gonna have like heat. When it gets warm, will I move my bed to be closer to that window? And I'm thinking right now with the sound just the way that it is, if I was able to have the window open, I would hear it from where my bed is. Yeah, I forget what I read the Emerald tablets. I didn't do what other people do. Is I'm not good with audio as much. The person's voice distracts me unless I can enjoy the voice, which is, it happens. I'm not saying it doesn't, but it's very rare, but it happens. But when I read the Emerald tablets, he was there was a part about the head to the south and then switching that north, head to the north. I can't remember which tablet it was. I can't even remember the line. It's in my screenshot somewhere. I know I kept that. And yeah, that's how I like my head to the south. But if I can't fall asleep for real, then I pivot. So I'm where my feet usually are. Good thing I don't have smelly feet. Oh my god. I swear to fuck, if I get any funnier, I'm gonna like just be laughing all the time. I gotta enjoy myself. Shit. Now I forget what I was going to say else. That's enough, eh? I know there was something else that was like, wanted to say, remind me. I can't remember. Hope y'all are feeling good. It's happy times. Grab it. Oh, that's it. Last night in my, random musings, and my own muse, I might as well musings to myself. I was thinking of like an analogy. Did I pronounce that right? I think so. Of the awakening. And it was like what brought on this analogy was a Tragically Hip song. The Wheat Kings. The Wheat Kings is about David Milgaard, who was wrongfully imprisoned and stayed a hell of a fucking long time in prison, and then was released because, you know, he wasn't the killer. Anyways, I'm not going to go into that, but I'm a freak. When Gord Downie died, I had nobody to talk to about that, and I was in my style of mourning where, you know, I knew he was going to die and blah, 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 because of the brain cancer. I'd been sending him energy for a long time, and within the week where he died, I remember all week I was thinking about him, and I was sending energy for the family. Do I know these people? Not literally. Would I have liked to? Fuck yeah. Wasn't meant to be. But in general, when I heard, I forget if it was on the radio or what, I just remember that it was like kind of like that moment where John Lennon passed away when I was a kid. The feeling that I had, the only difference is the way that I felt about it, because I was prepared. It wasn't an accident, first of all, but because also I had been speaking to his oversoul for a long time. Even if I don't know him, that's just how much he resonates with me. And I remember thinking when I found out that he passed away, thanks for, you know, giving me the week to think about it so that I wasn't so much in shock. Again, don't know this person personally in my life. Just to me, he's a poet and a prophet, and, you know, a light worker for real, legit. And when he passed away, I had nobody I could talk to out loud about it. And the one person I tried to talk to out loud about it was somebody that, a friend in my life, name him Kay. And I used to say, I'd have a fire, he'd come and hang out with me sometimes, and I used to say, like, Kay, you think I'm the only person that, like, in Canada that's, like, pretty much every day thinks, I wonder what Gord Downie is doing right now? And he, you know, would roll his eyes at me because I like to make his eyes roll. And, you know, probably thought that, yeah, I might be the only one that was actually thinking, what's Gord Downie doing right now? And not whatever. But anyways, I squirreled because I was talking about David Milgaard song. I was thinking of who can I talk to if there's nobody to talk to. So I went on Facebook, which I used to go on and I don't have anymore, and I tried to find David Milgaard, and I found an account. I really did. And the account was reminding me of when my sister bought me a computer and put me on Facebook, but I never touched the motherfucking thing for years, where he had an account but there was no activity on it. And all I could think of was, at some point somebody tried to integrate him, or it's, you know, a fake person and just didn't use it, because why do people create fake accounts and other people's names? Like, blows my mind. I don't even get that. Like, does not compute. But I wrote him a message saying, like, basically what I felt that day, and how if I felt like that and had never met Gord Downie, and that, you know, him who had the song that the Tragically Hip put out, and that became, you know, the Wheat Kings. Anyways, yeah, he never wrote me back. Again, I think that it was either an imposter person, or, you know, somebody set up his account, or maybe he did himself and just never went back to it. But I was thinking last night of, to what point, when someone comes out of prison that's been there for years, how, as much as you've been wanting to be out of prison for years, what do you do? Especially if you've been in there for like 20 years. What do you do? Like, okay, you might have a bucket list thing of one thing you want to do when you get out, which is go eat like fucking pizza. But what do you do after that? What's the next thing? Like, I mean, unless you have family and friends and structure and a home to go to and a job to go to when you get out of prison, what the fuck do you do? What the fuck do you do? And I was like, kind of relating that to awakening. You know, like, let's say you're 30, 40, 50 years old. You've waited all your life for these times. You want to feel better. You want to be elevated vibe. You want all this. You have it. But when everything's like right at the tip of your fingertips of like the real stuff that you want for yourself, how that's the point that a lot of people are at right now, is that you've worked so fucking hard to get here. You know, you've done the meditation, you've done the whatever. And then all of a sudden, like, it's right there at your fingertips. So, like, boom, like, back to inflammation, back to, like, all these things and pain and shadow work that's popping back up, or that's not even popping back up, but that you're bringing back and lingering in, is how I see it, because that's how I do. Like, for me, not saying anything yucky about anybody else, I mean me. If anybody can hang on to fucking doubts and shadows and shit, it's me. Believe me, there's no judgment of you all. I've judged myself enough. Anyways, yeah. And one of my videos the other day was about the fact that there's light workers that are drowning, and I feel that. And do I feel it as in they're gonna fucking drown? Fuck no. I see it as like the last drowning, really, where you really, like, because I compare it to how I felt, like, days, weeks, months, and how, you know, hanging on, spout back under the fucking surfboard, get hit by the surfboard, come up like fucking spouting seashells and fucking starfish and all this shit in my hair, just like, and then shake it off and then like fucking get back on the board. But I'm not even sure if I'm like on a surfboard anymore. It's a little different. I don't know. I'll know more to what, you know, as the days go on and progress, and then I'm like holding on to this like giggly, just like fucking woo vibe that is so different than what I'm used to. It's really different. Yeah. Different to the point that today I had a conversation with my inner child, and she's like kind of rolling her eyes, and I'm like, what's up? And she's like, your little doubting Thomas is like not himself. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, he's happy. He's not doubting anymore. He's pretty much getting it on with the gatekeeper. I was like, I know, I like it. Shh, don't watch. You're too little. Let's go outside and get that dress blown again. You know, in the sense that there's an alignment and a different type of harmony within that is like, I'm enjoying it. I really fucking am. Anyways, here we go, making my fucking 30-ish minute videos. Have a good night. I wish you a happy new moon. If you're one of those affirmation and write your shit down people, like, fucking do it. That's it. I'm out of here.